Hey guys, and welcome to this edition of Scruff's Garage. Today's project is on the Gladiator. I'm going to start blacking out some of the silver trim that I have on my Jeep. Mine is the Overland model, which comes with the silver trim in the grille, around the headlights. There's some of the bumpers and a few spots on some of the emblems. But I just went to a matte bronze wheel, and so to me the silver kind of clashes with that a little bit. So long term I plan to replace the front bumper with something I can put a winch in, so that'll take care of the silver in the bumper. But to replace the silver in the grille, I've bought a black trim panel. So this whole unit will come out, and then I'll show you there are 3 pieces that bolt in and have the what the silver trim is. It will be black as a replacement. So it should be a fairly straightforward project, but I'll bring you along for the ride and you can see how it looks before, and then I'll show you the after as well, and I'll show you the part number that I'm going to use in case this is something you want to do to the front of your Jeep. Okay, so this is the black trim pieces. Like I said, it comes, there's a left, center, and right, but it all comes as one part number. I won't read the part number to you. It's a Mopar number. I'll just link this in the description below, but you can see it does include the trim around the headlights and that sort of thing. So we'll get started with the installation, and I'm eager to see how it looks. So the Grille Shell is held in by just a few clips. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and they just they're pop style. So we'll get a little pry tool, you lift up on this, and then the insert comes out as well, and then this whole unit will pry out. So I'll stop talking, you can watch me do the work, and then you can see how it's done. Okay, so with the top clips out, I'm going to have to kind of lift up just a little bit. This should pull out, and then it should pop out from the bottom. So let's see what we can. There we go. And I'll lay this down, and then you can see how the clips hold it in place. But these little spots along here are where there are clips that press it in. So that holds the bottom, and then of course you've got the clips at the top that hold the top of it. There's little push clips along here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 along the bottom, and 2 more up and over just a little bit. That's what holds the bottom of the shell. So that gives you an idea of where you need to be pulling from so that you don't crack the panel. Of course, when you lay down the grille, make sure you've got something down that's not going to scratch the paint on the front part of the grille. Okay, so step 1 is going to be to get the kind of honeycomb portion of the grille out. That's held in by 8 T20 Torx bits, or Torx head screws. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So those come out no problem. Then you have these white clips. There's 4 of those. These are pretty simple. I'll give you kind of a sad profile. So you just press down on the tab there. You take a flat head, press down, and then another little screwdriver, and you can pop it out. So those come out real easy. And then I'll show you, I'll zoom in so you can see how the clips that hold the trim ring around the headlight bezel, there's nothing complicated to them, but I'll show you how they're a little bit more difficult to get out. So let's make a little progress here. Okay, and then to make matters even more complicated, you've got these little clips along here and in the center. There's a tab behind it, right? You'll see the piece sticking up kind of vertical, and there's a tab behind it to keep the tab from the vertical piece from pushing that way. But that's the direction you need to go to get it to unclip. So if you take a kind of a larger flathead screwdriver and gently pry it upwards, you can push in on that vertical tab, and then this will release. Be gentle with it. This seems like fairly tough, pliable plastic, but don't want to go crazy with it. There we go. So the first piece of honeycomb comes out. I won't make you watch me do all of these, but that's what we're working on. Okay, so once you have the honeycomb pieces out, now we're down to just the plastic. These would be the silver pieces that we're actually going to replace. You'll notice they're just held in at the top, like that. All right, so that piece comes out. So to get the trim around the headlight bezel out, they're held in by 3 clips. These are just friction clips. You can see they kind of have a little teeth in there, and they just press into place, and they push down, and they lock and hold. Not easy to get out. What I used is a little small flathead and then kind of a pick. The goal is to kind of pry it out so it loses some of that bite, and then use something to pry it upwards. So that's the general goal for what we're doing here. There we go. So you just got to work with it a little bit, and you'll pry those out, and then we'll be able to get these 2 wing panels out next. Okay, so we've got all of the silver trim out. Now this is the black trim that we're going back in with. Of course, it's shipped as one large piece. If you see, there's a little plastic tab here in the middle that says remove. So just trim that out with a pair of scissors. So I have some shop shears that I'm using. There we go, simple enough. So we'll begin putting these pieces back in the order that we took them apart. Which means the sections with the headlight bezel go in first. Okay, and then we can put in our the honeycomb portion of the grill. And again, the wings that go around the headlight bezel go in first. And you'll see that the center section kind of overlays and holds these tabs down. Goes back together about 10 times faster than it is to take it apart, but just double check, make sure all your clips are in place, and then we're ready to move on. Okay, there we go. The black grille is in. Really easy to reinstall. And I love the satin black. It kind of accentuates against the gloss black that the Jeep is. Here, I'll take the camera off the stand. Let's see if I can give you a close-up without making you seasick. Yeah, I think that looks really good. Very happy with that. And as I continue to black out some of the other trim pieces, right, once I get an aftermarket bumper on here, you won't notice, obviously that silver trim won't be there anymore. And then of course with the matte bronze wheels, I think it's going to look really good. So I've got some future plans for addressing the chrome Jeep emblem, and of course it's like a silver color on the tailgate as well. That will be for a future project, but this wraps it up for the grille. As always, if you have any questions, hit me up in the comments. I'll help any way that I can. If you enjoyed this content and you'd like to stay up to date with whatever I may be working on here in the garage, be sure to hit like and subscribe. That helps the channel and keeps you up to date on what's going on. So as always, thanks for tuning in to this edition of Scruff's Garage. We'll look forward to seeing you next time.